Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2DRadio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW of Atlantic City, we're off exit 37 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of Atlantic City.com. Every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by our certified public accountant, back for his third year, Gibson Mayer LLC.
3 years.
Find him on the web, GibsonMayer.com. And that's a three-peat for Gibson Mayer. Tonight on the show, Joel Embiid contract situation later on. NFL Week in Review, most surprising game, which game was most predictable, which player besides Kareem Hunt really stood out to you. We'll get into all that later on in the show. But
I mean, everyone's going to say Kareem Hunt, so we got to be a little creative.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kareem Hunt is the easy one, and in my opinion, somebody likes it really low on their end, man. I mean, the kid, listen, the big dog daddy over here, he likes a little juice in the ear. You know what I mean? I don't know whoever had two didn't even want to hear themselves talk. That's disturbing.
The big pundit?
The big pundit. So we got a big week coming up, okay? Father-son matchup, right? Arrowhead Stadium should be exciting.
Like Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san getting ready to go at it here.
It's exciting because you're going to see if the mentor beats the student or vice versa. And we'll get into our predictions later on in the show. Greg Milwakovic not with us tonight. It's Tom Renone, Michael Mataraki, Rob Povey on the ones and twos.
The way it used to be.
Yeah, we're flashbacking it on a Wednesday,
Back in the day.
if that's even possible. The big dog not with us tonight. Family's in town from Florida.
Be back
enjoying
next
his
week.
dad's birthday and all that. So we'll see Greg next week. But we'll see Andy this week, and we will see the Kansas City Chiefs. And our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. The winner of Sunday's Eagles-Chiefs game will be Pederson's Eagles, Big Red's Chiefs. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. Peter Evans already chiming in, saying, yo, what up, Pete?
What up, Pete?
And he says, Kenny Galladay, already, that's his guy. That's a great name to toss in. I mean, Kenny had a great day.
Oh, no question.
Stafford seems to like him already. Seems to have the chemistry, and that guy played why he is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He showed that on Sunday, too. Shut a lot of people up. We're in the business of shutting people up. So let's get right into our poll question. The winner of Sunday's Eagles-Chiefs game will be Pederson's Eagles, Big Red Chiefs. We'll answer all your questions on YouTube and Facebook Live as well.
You know what? If New England had played on Sunday or Monday night, or Kansas City, I'm sorry. If Kansas City had played on Sunday or Monday night, I'd say the Birds have a puncher's chance. But you give Andy 10 days to prepare for a team. I did a little research earlier today. He's 15-3 to open a season, and he's 16-2 coming off of a bye.
16-2 coming off a bye, and 15-3 to
open a season. So now he opens a season with a win against the odds-on favorite to win the AFC, and then he gets 10 days to prepare for his former team coming into his house. I'd love to say the Birds have a shot here, but it's going to be a long shot.
All right, that's great that you went that way, because I'm actually going to go the opposite way of that. And
go for it, brother.
Hey, the numbers speak to Andy off buys or Andy Witt. More than 6 days to prepare for a football team, right? I look at it like this. Beating New England was a big-time win for that football team. Huge, huge, huge. We all know that. Kansas City was my team to go into the Super Bowl for the AFC. They were last year as well, so it wasn't like I've been trying to ride Big Red till he got there. Kansas City was my team again. Talked about it on Sunday. I'll talk about it again now. Two-thirds of the world's covered by Wooder. The other third's covered by one Eric Berry.
Not anymore.
Who, in my opinion, is a top 3 defensive player in this league. And in a league where teams like to throw the ball a lot, that's a big loss for them. I think beating New England was huge for them. I think the Eric Berry loss kills them emotionally for at least a week in my eyes. And I think you got a football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, coming in with confidence as well. And both teams, when you look at how they match up a lot alike in a lot of ways, especially the front four. And that's the big issue to me. Can you protect Carson Wentz with their front four, who's one of the best in football?
Absolutely.
I think
Justin Houston's a beast.
I think Peters and Johnson have a good week this week because they need to.
Right.
I think we win this football game because of the loss of Eric Berry and because of them beating New England, and that's an emotional primetime win for them. I know they got extra days to prepare, but I'm going to go on a limb. If anybody's going to know Andy and his tendencies, it's going to be Doug.
No, you're
Doug didn't call the plays there. At least that's what the media told us.
No, you're absolutely right. And for my money, if the Birds are going to win, they're going to have to win through the air. I mean, you're not going to run on Kansas City, not with LeGarrette Blount. If they're going to establish a running game, it's going to be Smallwood, Sproles, and I'm hearing whispers that we may have a Donnell Pumphrey package or two for this week.
Liam Jenkins on that? I'm not trying to plug guys.
No, I mean, put it this way. Liam picked up on it, and I love Liam. I'm just going to say I didn't hear it from him first.
Okay. Fair.
And I'm not going to
if you didn't hear from him first, you didn't hear from him first.
And I'm not going to rub anybody else's tushes on this show. Because that's a whole other story we're going to get into. We got some people to call out, and it's going to happen.
It could happen.
It's going to happen.
It could happen.
But and William Whitesett chiming in on the YouTube chat, Eagles baby 24-13, says Patriots didn't have a pass rush like the Eagles have. Mr. Poogs, Philly goes nuts if we can win this one at Arrowhead. Todd Womack, what's good? Yo, what's up, Todd? So going back to my point, if they're going to run, it's going to have to be quick hitters to the outside. The power running game is not going to work against Kansas City.
Agreed.
Not with that front four with their linebackers. The loss of Barry is huge in the secondary. So, I mean, for me, if I have to, you're putting a gun to my head right now and saying, if the Birds win, who's my player of the game? It's Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, that sounds familiar from last week, and it sounds familiar from the Sunday's pregame.
But here's the thing:
got to win that matchup week on, and week in, week out.
Right,
he has to win that matchup.
No, you're absolutely right. But if you break it down position by position, who would Barry have been covering? Nelson Aguilar out of the slot, most likely.
That and Ertz, combo. Yeah. But no, I agree. And he's got to win week to week. Alshon's going against Marcus Peters. All right, we know who Marcus Peters is, one of the best corners in football. So they're going to shade coverage week to week to Alshon Jeffrey. And now Torrey Smith has shown on tape, hey, I can take the top off of defense. Now you got to roll coverage that way as well.
Right,
so now you leave it to Zach Ertz and Nelson Aguilar to say, hey, you two who had a real good game Sunday,
they did.
We're going to need that week in and week out, because what's going to happen is teams are going to stop rolling coverages. And they're going to say, you know what? Too many guys can beat us here. We're going to either man it up, zone it up, whatever, and we're not going to roll coverages anywhere. And that's where Alshon, Torrey start having big days when these two guys.
You're absolutely right.
Week to week, we're going to have big games.
And like you and I talked about last night when we were going through our keys to victory, if you will, Alshon needs to start winning the 50-50 balls. He had 3 shots at it on Sunday. He didn't come away with any of them. His big claim to fame for as long as he's been in the league is he's a guy who consistently wins the 50-50 balls. If he starts winning the 50-50 balls, and Carson can connect with Torrey on those plays where he just flat out runs by the corner on the weak side, then this is going to be a whole different ballgame. And it's going to start to resemble more of an Andy Reid team because the running game is very quickly going to take a back seat. And I'm okay with that short term. So, but flip side of all this is, do we think Andy doesn't know all this?
Oh, of course he knows it.
Andy, if anybody knows what Doug is going to prepare, it's going to be Andy. Just as much as Doug's going to know, what Andy's tendencies are, and he may know a little something about how they plan to replace Eric Berry. But hats off to the front office, because for the second week in a row, they've gone out and they've signed someone to their practice squad just released by the opponent.
I like that.
Birds went out and signed a corner that Andy just cut like 2 days ago. I don't even know the guy's name, but he's from Kansas City.
They just took him, yeah.
They just picked him up.
Just a guy.
But if you want to pick up on some of the Kansas City terminology or the tendencies or whatever, just like they did when they signed Nate Sudfeld, they picked up on Washington's tendencies. Now they have a corner from Kansas City. That's all Joe Douglas. It's got to be.
No, Howie's not smart enough.
I was going to say, Howie's not that smart.
We know that. We've learned that, at least when it comes to Howie Roseman. Tons on the Facebook right now. Get to all you guys right this second. Greg Milakovic, have a good show, boys. Keep my seat warm.
Will do.
Listen, Daddy, it's warm. Zach Boylan, Nelson Aguilar stood out to me. He was a different player Sunday, no question. And Sweeps and Wilson got a little pissed at me because he was my player of the game. He was the guy that I thought needed to have a big game. Not saying that I'm right or wrong, because he did. But then I texted him like that's a good finish, right? They weren't having it. Oh, it's all Wentz. Of course, it's all Wentz. But the guy caught the ball. He shrugged off a defender like he was a child and went to the house. That's a win for us, man.
Oh, no question.
Anything when you get this guy listen, I think it was it Rex Ryan on Monday night or maybe Collinsworth on Sunday night, but somebody was talking about confidence. It might have been Gruden. Talking about confidence for young wide receivers.
No, it was Gruden.
And
he was talking about Stephon Diggs.
Yep, and he said once they get that confidence, all bets are off now. And I think that confidence was gained in the offseason. I think that confidence showed Sunday. So I'm a big believer in Nelson Aguilar. Clay Ferguson talks about which result was most predictable, which team surprised you the most, or most surprising game. He goes Saxonville, which had a big game, Jacksonville's defense, which is prime too. We got.
I got some thoughts on that later on when we get there.
Rob Taramini. Hope I got it right. What's going on, fellas? What's up, Rob?
What's up, Rob?
Greg Mwakovic, Kansas City. Who's he taking? Predictable. Okay. Sean Spielman, 10 days to prepare is an excuse. Obviously coming from a Giants fan. Didn't Andy have 14 days to prepare for the Patriots in the Super Bowl? Stop. Okay. Rob Lutman, any trends or any tends? Andy tends to outsmart himself.
He does.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Clay Ferguson, in terms of going back to Sean Spielman, but Sean Belichick also had the same amount of time. And how did Belichick do, buddy?
How did Belichick do the other?
He won.
The other 4 times, too.
And Clay says he won because he's a GOAT coach, no question. Vinny Maston, sorry, boys, I'm laying KC. Fair enough, Vinny.
I got some love from Vinny.
If you want to watch a game, you ain't from the Philly area, you need to get the Stream Smart. Vinny, drop your link in here, streamsmart.com, the best in the business. All NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA games, boxing, UFC, whatever. That whole good list goes on. Movies, you know the deal.
I got a few over here, too, on the YouTube chat. Turk Boys 20. The successful coaches in the NFL don't do play calling. They leave that for the OC. Doug needs to do the same and just coach. Agreed, but you know what that comes from. It comes from Andy because that's how Andy was. Andy used to call all the plays himself. Supposedly, when he went to Kansas City, he would call the first half. Doug would call the second half. I don't know how much I believe it, but can't argue with the result. 1-0. Anyway, Todd Womack, I'm going to stand by the Eagles, but it's going to be close. David Rosca, Andy Reid should be a 5-time Super Bowl champion with Philly. David, I actually am going to get into that because I do have some thoughts on that later on when we start talking about the whole Andy versus Doug saga. I agree with you. I'm going 2, but they should have made at least 3. And
at least 3?
Made at least 3.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Yeah,
We'll get into that more a little deeper. Coop, 11. Eagles don't have a shot if the O-line plays like it did last week. Holly Houston and company will make you pay. If they play well, I'm projecting a win. Good call, Coop. It's kind of where Tom is.
Yeah, I completely agree. Taylor Quinsnell? Hope I got it right, brother. Yeah, caught you guys live. Glad you could, Taylor. He also goes on to say, Ertz had a great game, too. He's so under the radar. It is good to see Zach Ertz play before Week 15 of the season, isn't it? Feels good. Feels real good. Feels cleansing.
You know what, though? It's interesting that you said that because I feel the same way. I honestly feel like Zach Ertz is a not ready for primetime player, if you will, because he typically has his best games when they mean jack shit.
Yeah, when you're 6-9 and whatever.
And I didn't believe this until I went and I looked at it myself. But if you look at his numbers through last year and you compare his numbers to Hall of Fame tight ends, he's got comparable numbers. It's just that a lot of his numbers come in garbage time. Either garbage time in a game or garbage time in a season. Now, if we get from Zach Ertz over the course of a season what we got on Sunday, which was, 7 for 93? I mean, you get that from a tight end consistently over the course of a season, and you have a winning season, and you do something in the playoffs, now you're starting to sell me more on Zach Ertz.
And listen,
I love his talent.
Yeah.
He just needs to do it when it matters.
And, Mike, guess what? I mean, you know this. I mean, who's a young quarterback's best friend?
It's tight end.
And it's a slot guy, too. So them two have to play well. And like you said earlier, Alshon has to win the 50-50s. Now, could that ball been another couple inches a little higher and he probably wins that? Yeah. But guess what? Look like he had it. Just didn't finish. You hope that he can start finishing. Zach Boylan.
I hate when guys don't finish.
How many carries for Blunt this week?
10.
I was going to say 12, so I'm right there with
We're there, yeah.
10 to 12.
Yeah.
I'm right in that mix.
Now, let's up the ante on that one a little bit, though. How many carries does Sproles get? 10.
Yeah, I could see the quicker, more elusive back this week. I could see that.
I think they run a lot out of shotgun with Sproles, and maybe a little bit of Pumphrey, maybe a little bit of Smallwood in there. But I truly believe this is a Sproles type of game.
Oh, it has to be. You didn't see him, a lot of them last week. To your point, it'd be good to run him out of the shotgun a little bit and some different sets. But the bigger thing about it is that I just when I look at how I can beat the Kansas City Chiefs this week, I look at I got to sling the ball around the yard this week. Week to week, your game plan is going to change. Without Eric Berry, okay? Without Eric Berry, I got to sling it now. I got to beat you in the air. They're a real good run defense, a real good front seven. I have to beat you in the air. When you look at our offense, it's a pick your poison situation. And like you said, you had Sproles in that backfield. Now the poison, real deadly.
Right, but
that's some venom.
But that's where I'm going with this, because if you're going to sling it around, Sproles has to be part of that passing game. But you can't just have him in there on passing downs or passing situations, because then you become predictable.
True.
So he needs to get carries out of the backfield to keep the defense honest. And then what you're going to see is you'll see some play action. You'll see some carries out of the shotgun. You'll see some tosses. And it honestly...
The opposite of Sean Payton.
Correct.
On Monday night.
And it also wouldn't surprise me if Doug reached into the little bag of tricks and pulled out a little read option this week.
Nothing wrong with it.
Not at all.
And what I say about the Sean Payton is every time AP was in the game, it was a run play.
Right.
Well, where's the play action?
Exactly.
Where's something off of that? And like you said, the last thing you want is Sproles in the backfield and it's pass, pass, pass.
Right.
So if you start the game off at some point when the first time he enters the football game and it's a draw to him, guess what? Now you got to respect the draw the whole time. Even if it goes for 1 yard. Now it's in your head. You got to respect it.
Right.
But I got to bone the pick with these two gentlemen that were sitting here earlier, okay? Ralph Del Vecchio and one Frank Vespi, who I love to death, right? But they crushed this man earlier. Not Frank. Frank didn't crush him as much. Frank just didn't like some of his play calls.
Well, Frank can't crush him as much.
Can't.
But that's another story for another time.
He can't. But this man, and one Greg Mwakovic, who I know, so I'll just assume it. I'm tired of hearing about, oh, man, that's a bad play call. Go around 31 other NFL teams around the league, okay? And every week I guarantee you that 3 or 4 to 5 play calls, win or lose, their fans are like, that was a bad play call. That's a bad play call. That's a bad play call. Can we stop with it?
Let me ask you.
Can we judge it off one thing? Can we start judging this off of one thing? Wins and goddamn losses. That's it.
I hear you.
That's it.
But let me ask you a question in all seriousness.
We're becoming a terrible fan base because of the media allowing this to happen, some of the things to happen.
Agreed. But if you just go and you look at Sunday, because I know you probably dissected that just as much as I did, who called a better game offensively, Doug or Jay Gruden? Because from my money, it's Doug. It's absolutely Doug.
I don't think it was even close on Sunday.
I think Gruden called a horrible game on Sunday.
Is there some plays that you would like to have back?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. I don't have to like every play call, but guess what? There's some plays that work, and if they didn't, you wouldn't like the play call if the result wasn't what it was, right? If it wasn't what it was. That play where Wentz ran it all around, blah, 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 blah. Okay, made a play with his feet, threw it, right? That could have been a terrible play call, or it could have been a great one. Maybe he missed a wide open guy. And you understand what I'm saying? That stop dissecting it so deep in terms of play by play. We did this with Andy, okay? Now that these two are meeting up this week, can we do ourselves a favor as a fan base? Can we stop being so critical play by play? Can the result be all that matters to us? I'm begging for the fans out there that are listening to what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel that, man. I'm begging for the rest of you to buy into it for a minute. I guarantee our success on the field will be better. If we took a little step back, I'm not saying don't be angry. I'm not saying don't be pissed off at things. I'm just saying don't dissect 3 or 4 plays a game and say they're bad play calls. Like you're an NFL guy now. Like you watch game tape. If you watch game tape, then fine.
But see, here's the thing, though. I could do one better, because for every one of those 3 or 4 plays that the armchair quarterbacks want to dissect and say was a horrible play, I can go back and find just as many plays in that game that were great calls that the players didn't execute. Like there was one running play that was just screaming that for a 25-yard gain by LeGarrette Blount, and he got tackled at the line of scrimmage, and everybody bitched and moaned that it was a horrible call. You go back and you watch the replay. He's got a hole that you can drive a Mack truck through. Brent Selleck misses his block, and the guy catches him from the backside.
But guess who that's on?
But that's on Doug.
That's on a freaking football guy.
Yeah.
We ran out a guy who wasn't a football guy. A guy who got no respect in the locker room. None of that. We'll talk about that later because that's going to dive into something else. I don't want to. I want to read off a lot more of these comments.
I got a couple too, so go ahead.
Taylor Quincinello, I agree totally. Talking about things earlier. Clay Ferguson, Sproles is a wonder because of his age and size. Completely agree.
Yep.
Lenny Robinson, what up, Len? Pumphrey needs to be activated to contribute. Agreed there, yeah.
Yep, and it looks like it may happen.
Zach Boylan, when is Jordan Hicks going to get the respect from the national media? Only Eagles fans talk about this guy. I'll give you one other site that really loves him, and that's Pro Football Focus.
Oh, yeah.
That's one publication out there that I know nationally that gives that man a ton of respect outside of us. He's a ball player. He's always around the football. You know, you talk about guys who have knacks for the ball. He's always in the right place.
Right.
Fumble happens, guess who's on top? Jordan Hicks. It's just some guys have that. What up, Zeke, man? Please, no wide receiver bubble screen. You're one of them guys. You know, I love you to death, but you're one of them jabrones who I got zero time with through the NFL season. Like, these are the guys. And then you're commenting on that Crumb Redding shit. Mr. Expert and everything. That you two are falling in love on play calls together. Don't go sit in the corner with him. Don't you sit in the corner with him. Because we won't let you out of the corner. We'll leave you in goddamn timeout, Zeke. Come over with us. See, comment on one more thing, I'll freaking block you. And I love you to death. Don't make me do it.
There's a reason he got kicked off the show.
Chris Kelly. I think I just stared in the light so long talking to him, I can't read the thing.
It's the light. Hold that thought.
Go ahead. I'll get to you, Chris.
Here we go. Todd Womack, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of screenplays in the game. Just don't need to see a lot of wide receiver screens. Okay, fine. It's a hit or miss play call, and I get it.
If he busts it, you're loving it.
Yeah. William White said, I agree with you, Tom. A lot of Eagles fans ripping on the play calling. We won. That's all that matters. And Todd Womack comes back. W's are the most important thing. Every coach calls a dumbass play from time to time. I like it.
Sean Spielman, I know you're a Giants fan. This is what I love about you. This is what I flat out love you. Because now you're coming with real talk. And this is the worldwide leader of real talk. This is the worldwide leader of no goddamn agenda, right? So to clarify that, Doug P has a set of balls. But you killed Andy for not having them. Make up your mind, Eagles fans.
I love that comment.
I mean, that's so spot on. That's something else. And sometimes the outside guy, even though we hate you, even though you're a Giants fan, we hate you through a 6-month process, and then we fall in love again. Even with all that, because he is a Phillies fan, so then we fall back in love. But even with all that, and he's a Sixers fan, but even with all that, the man's right now. He's right.
But here's the thing, though. He's right. But do we underestimate Andy? Do we just not give him enough credit?
We didn't.
For the balls that he had. Because how many times did the Eagles come out when they finally upgraded their receiving core and they had T.O. and Todd Princeton? How many times did they come out and literally first play of the game, they're going play action and McNabb's loading it up 60, 70 yards down the field? It happened quite a bit. You know? Onside kick to start the season. Onside kick to start another game against Dallas later on because Andy wanted to shove it up their asses a second time.
I thought Andy had some balls. I never thought Andy didn't. I thought Andy was he was
real conservative on fourth downs, whereas Doug's kind of a riverboat gambler on fourth down.
But that was year one,
right?
And it was a point of the season where it's like, hey, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I want to put my QB and his football team in every situation I can as a young team and a young quarterback. So when I run in these 4th and 1s next year or 3rd and 1s, we're going to get them.
Right.
And guess what? So what? If we lose a game because of it, whatever. This wasn't year one. We're going to go to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. You know, I think we were, because of the quick start we had, we hoped for that. Right. But then Lane, Ron Brooks were two killers.
Yeah.
Chris Kelly. I think you see an ample amount of screens with Sproles. I think you will see an ample amount of screens with Sproles. Brian Daly talking about the fans, laying off a little bit. Preach. Mike Chamberlain Sr., thank you, dude. I've been arguing all day the same point on most of these pages. Hey, Mike, this is why you come here. This is why you come here.
It's what we do.
This is what we promise you. We're for the fan, by the fan. Doug Zeke, I don't give a shit about other teams, Eagles. He also told me I'm on his switch list now. Taylor Questinell.
You know what, Zeke? Go buy your daughter another hockey jersey.
Oh, Taylor Questinell. I'd like to see more read option plays than screens on 3rd and 2. Okay,
that's fine, but you don't want to get your quarterback killed either.
No, I mean, this isn't college ball. Let me be honest. You want to run one read option a season? Okay. I mean, not read option. I'm thinking something else. Sorry. We dealt with that.
Right.
So we're back to read options? Who? We Dak and the Cowboys? I don't want this freaking quarterback running read out. He doesn't need to. A couple times you can put it in the gut and do that a couple times a game.
It's a couple times a
but
game.
But this isn't Chip Kelly's offense.
You don't run it as the focal point of your offense.
No, and I'm yelling because this isn't Chip. We ran that back. We ran that out of here.
Right.
We were clear that we didn't want college offense. We went and got an NFL guy with an NFL offense. And yeah, if he mixes it in a couple times, that's just innovative. Well, but I'm okay with that.
Right, but here's the thing though, because now what happened?
Taylor, I agree with that. If you mix it in a little bit.
Right, but when Andy left and he went to Kansas City and he got Alex Smith, all of a sudden Andy started running read option with Alex Smith, and then all of a sudden it was okay. So then Doug picked up on it a little bit. And you know what? 3 times a game, I don't have a problem with it. But 2 out of those 3 times, you better be sticking it in a running back's gut.
Yeah.
You need to keep that one time.
It's just a different offense. And like you said, it's innovative to bring it out a couple times a game. It shows you that you can do more than just what your offense dictates, right? You can go outside the box a little bit. It's so much more. New versus old, peep game. Let's go. Aguilar.
All right.
Charlie Rice. We need to get Smallwood off the field and get Clement some carries.
South Jersey guy.
We'll see.
Where are you from, buddy? You from South Jersey?
Charlie's from South Jersey.
You a homer? You looking for some homeboy love?
Charlie Rice. I'm a fan of Doug. I think once he becomes more established as a head coach, he would be a great play caller. Agree. Zeke, 3 or 4 bad plays could cost you a dub. Come on. Did that? They didn't. They didn't.
Let me ask you a couple questions, and if this segues too far into the next topic, so what? We'll just run with it, okay?
Yeah.
But Andy's first season, he's 5-11, okay? Doug's first season, he's 7-9. Andy's second season, he goes 11-5, and he loses to the Giants in the second round of the playoffs. Now, we've already talked up and down about what makes this a successful season, what doesn't make this a successful season. But to this point in his head coaching career, Doug is a better head coach than Andy in terms of wins and losses. If you just want to look at it in terms of wins and losses through 17 games, Doug's a better coach. So does Doug get a bad rap in this town because A, he was a backup quarterback for most of his career, B, he really didn't have that much.
Can I give you A?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me A.
Oh, so A, that's the people who don't do their homework, okay, and aren't smart football guys that use that excuse. That, he's a backup quarterback. How can he know? They're dumb people because he played in the league.
Because the backup quarterback's usually the smartest goddamn guy on the team.
He can relate to NFL players because he's played in the NFL. Right. Guys are going to respect the guy more because he's played in the league. He understands what it takes to prepare at this level, right? At the highest level. He knows it. He was around Hall of Famers his whole career. We talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go back. Do his history. So he was with Miami, who won football games, Green Bay, who won a lot of football games, Philly, who won football games. Then he went to Cleveland. So he saw the worst and the best, right? So you know what's not going to work, and you know what it takes to work.
Absolutely.
So I don't buy into A, and the people who do buy into A, I just think are haters.
Okay. B, because the only head coaching experience he had prior to becoming Eagles head coach was high school, and his only NFL experience was with Andy at every stop.
Agreed. In a coaching role, yes, I agree.
Okay.
But he's been around. If you're a backup quarterback long enough in the NFL, man, I mean, offenses. You study more than the starter sometimes.
Right.
So that doesn't bother me that he was a backup. That doesn't faze me. What phases me or not is the guy a football guy.
That's good because to me, if you could take starting quarterbacks and move them directly into a GM position, you could take a backup quarterback and have him be your head coach. Hell, half the time a backup quarterback could have called a game better than the offensive coordinator because he studied more of it.
And you know what the guys need to not do? Don't listen to press conferences of him. Listen to him in the locker room. Listen to him talk up his players on the field, okay? Listen to that Doug Pederson and get back to me and tell me that guy doesn't translate to his players. Because I'll freaking wait. You're talking about... I'm so sick of us judging a guy like we did off of Andy for so long off a goddamn presser, man. How does the guy talk to his players? Does he sound smart when he talks to his players? Right? Does he sound smart when he gives them the little after win talks, right? Does he sound like a smart guy, a motivating guy, right?
Does he? How does he sound when he goes and he sits next to Carson Wentz on the bench 3 hours before the game and just sits there and talks football with him?
Yeah, exactly, Mike.
And for the high school team that he coached, if I'm the administration of that school district, I'm just thanking my lucky stars that this guy came and coached for me. I'm not looking down on him for going to coach high school.
Who cares?
I think that was a fun job for him. Is
he
what
went
that
and
was.
did his dues. Got a gig with Andy. Learn from, in my opinion, a damn good football coach, and you can make the argument a great football coach. Just hasn't gotten the ring yet, right? But the judge a coach off of a press conference is a joke. Bill Belichick gives you nothing. Nothing, and I'm not comparing, but from the second he walked in New England, he gave you nothing.
Right.
Nothing from day one, okay? He's not an asshole to the media, okay? He's just not, maybe that's not his comfortability.
He doesn't have a degree in public speaking.
Yeah, he has a degree in football.
Whoop, right.
He has a degree in football players. That's all that matters. That's all my point there is.
Look, here's a guy, and I'm going to lose my shit on this. He's a guy who played 14 years. 14 goddamn years. He put on a helmet and shoulder pads and prepared every week as if he was going to play. Okay? He's a guy, he's got a Super Bowl ring. Super Bowl 31, backing up Brett Favre in Green Bay. They beat Bledsoe and the Patriots, 96-97 season. Who's the head coach of that team? Mike Holmgren. Who's the offensive line coach? One Mr. Andy Reid.
Who else was on that staff? One Mr. John Gruden, I
No,
believe.
little Grudog action.
Okay, there's a lot on that staff to learn
and
from.
Here's the thing. People need to go a couple branches higher up the tree because they just want to say he's an Andy disciple. Well, Andy was a Holmgren disciple. Holmgren was a Seifert disciple. Seifert was a Bill Walsh disciple. The tree goes real high, and they all run some variation of the same offense. So for people in this town that want to rag on Doug Pederson after 17 goddamn games when he's 8-9, because you don't like the way he speaks at a press conference, you go shove it up your ass. Turn in your fan card.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I really couldn't have. And a lot of people are chiming in. Rob Lubman, a real chance to be something special for us, having the Wentz wagon on our squad. Completely agree. Zach Boylan, those players will leave it all out there for Doug. They did it for Chip. You can tell the difference.
Oh, absolutely.
That is spot freaking on. Spot on.
That's our comment of the night so far.
And by the way, what up, Rob? Rob Lubman says, all I know is that Doug has a real chance, and that's what he went on, a real chance to be something special for us, having the Wentz wagon on the squad as well. Zeke, I hope the kicker can get the job done. That will be the next bitch fest. Yeah, well, that's one of the things where, like, who are you going to get now? So you just hope, you pray that he can make a couple kicks for you until Sturgis comes back. And Charlie Rice said the same thing. Players put it all on the field for Doug. Those guys love playing for him. If Jason Peters loves you, you're doing your job right. Completely agree. These are guys who hated.
It's a phenomenal point.
These guys who hated Chip Kelly, who Jason Peters heard every game at the end of Chip Kelly's tenure, right? He'd play a play, didn't want to play anymore, right? Every week. Rob Anthony. The tree all goes back to Vince Lombardi, kid.
He ain't wrong.
Tree.
He's not wrong.
Tree just got bigger.
Well, I got one over here that I want to address here. Turk Boys 20 again. Eagles are always hiring coaches that want to do everything. That's the problem. Here's my question. If Doug does go, who do you guys want as the coach? I got maybe Josh McDaniels. Could be like Kyle and Matt Ryan or Matt Patricia.
Hold on.
No, hold on. Let me go here because I know you're going to lose your shit.
Right now. Oh.
We're not answering this question because Doug's not going. And this is the problem. You right now, my friend, have basically just illustrated the entire problem. Is that we're sitting here trying to explain to you how good of a coach Doug Pederson is, and you still want him gone, and you want to bring in Josh McDaniels or Matt Patricia. Are you a Patriots fan? Because these two jabrones are nothing without Belichick. You saw what Josh McDaniels did in Denver.
Yeah.
And now where is he? He's back under the wing of the GOAT of all coaches.
Come back home.
And Matt Patricia, honest to God, without the checkbook that they have in up there at Gillette Stadium, Matt Patricia, I'll give the guy a little credit. He's great at in-game adjustments, but he's also got the talent to do it. So don't come at me with this. If Doug leaves, Who do you want? Because I don't want Doug to leave, and I'm not answering the question.
We played one fucking game this year. This is
And I understand it's agree to disagree, and you're entitled to your point, but I'm not answering. I'm not answering it.
You're great. You're probably a great guy. So come here to let us educate you. Stop. I can't. Stop going elsewhere, please. Stop going elsewhere.
I just did the same damn thing you did. I can't see my screen.
Because you stared at it.
Because I stared at the light.
Rob Anthony says, geez, Mike is cursing a lot these days, LOL. And I wrote, he's fired up. And I wrote back, Taylor Quintanell, yeah, people got to quit acting like he doesn't know his shit. My opinion, we're picky because we're anxious about getting a Super Bowl. We need to give the guy a chance. That is also spot freaking on because, of course, we are. Of course, that's the end goal I say every year for every team. I want Broad and Patterson. Anything else is not a success. But it can still be a success if you don't get there. Yes, are we anxious to get there? Do we deserve one? Of course. Right? We want to have the Cowboys fans stop telling us about rings, the Giants fans stop telling us about rings, and so we can be like, oh, we got one.
Yeah.
And it's going to come with Wentz.
We have a ring. What have you done for me lately?
It's going to come with these two. I'm telling you. It's going to happen.
But here's my question, though, for the fans. If the standard you're holding him to is Andy Reid, this is a guy who's 1-4 in NFC Championship games and 0-1 in the Super Bowl. Where's the standard? What's the standard? His regular season record? Whoop-de-doo!
Josh McDaniel, right? You want to hold that standard?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You want to throw me other slot names out on the table? Okay. You could add Ben McAdoo, who won't have a goddamn clue what he's doing in New York, right? That you got a football guy. Ben McAdoo got goddamn hired because of Aaron Rodgers. Plain and simple. And the only reason Mike McCarthy has the job still is because of Aaron Rodgers. This is the same jabroni who puts a wide receiver as his tailback. That's that guy. But he can get away with it because he's got to go to as a quarterback. Okay? It's all based on 11, man. If Doug's a smart enough football guy and Carson continues to develop, Broad's coming. That's what I got. Broad's coming.
Turk Boy's with the counterpunch, and I'm okay with reading his counterpunch. I'm not saying I want Doug gone. I'm just saying if. And who I would probably look for after my main dislike with Doug is West Coast offense. I think it sucks, especially for Wentz, to be honest. But that's the thing, though. How can you say the West Coast offense sucks when just about every really strong team in the NFL, with the exception of New England, is running some variation of it? You got to give Wentz and Doug more than 17 games to master this offense. You have to.
Listen, he told you, right? He told you earlier in the year, Doug, that said, hey, when you talk about the West Coast offense and one Carson Wentz, it's going to take him about 5 years to master the offense. Now, can that be sped up and him still be successful year 2, 3, and 4? Of course.
Right.
But he's saying to get the full master of the offense, a guy who has been around the offense his whole life, I think you'd have an idea on how long it takes to master it. Is that an excuse? No, because he also came out and said this is one of the most talented teams he's ever been around. And it's comparable to the Green Bay teams, right? A little boost of confidence for his players. Why? Because when he says that, every guy in that goddamn locker room respects the fucking shit out of him. It's over. So guys who never played a sport in their life might not get that. And that might be hard for you, right? You sit at home couch guys who critique everything. That might be hard for you to understand. But motivation and confidence to a player means so goddamn much more than you can't put a number on it.
I want Rob to call you out for cursing now, too.
Yeah. Well,
but I loved it. It was great in the context.
Yeah, it fit.
It's what we do.
Doug, and what does he say? He says, Rob again, Doug stays. He's the best fit for the job. If he's a reincarnation of Andy, that's fine. He's a younger, fired up, more savvy version of Andy. Let him ball out. Stop bitching. 2-0 coming up. Freaking love it. Rob Upman. My girl just heard the real talk and he started talking shit about our Giants and what they have and what we don't. And he said something. I think he said fucking Uber is on his way. Yeah, Clay Ferguson. A lot of bleeps here, brother. Clay goes bleep, bleep, bleep. Yep. Rob, if Andy developed and won with McNabb, Doug can win big with Wentz. And that's the thing.
No question.
And you know that Five knows that. Because Five been a little sour puss. I mean, Five walks around broadcast the most sour son of a bitch I ever met in my life. I mean, listen. Alcoholism 101 when you look at Don McNabb. And Five will always love me, and I always love Five. But my God, brother, you can't be that much of a goddamn hater on a team you played for. Like
Well,
Five's that soft that he's still upset about the bill.
Five,
You know what I mean? And I love Five.
Well,
I love
here's
Five,
the thing.
but come on, Five.
Five will always love you until he feels disrespected, and then Five will bury you.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, I understand that, he took, like, I was not a Five hater.
No, not
okay?
really.
I was a Five lover, probably a Five apologist at times, but I love Five. And anybody who doesn't love Five on the football field is clueless.
Oh, absolutely.
But afterwards, and this is what I'm talking about. Were people too hard on him here? No question about it. Is playing professional sports hard, and you got to take some of it? Yeah. But his problem is at the beginning he took it, right? He ate it up. It was all like on me. That's on me.
Right,
that's on me. As the career went on, it felt like this started coming a little bit, right?
Right. Well, there was a lot of finger pointing, but here's the thing. This is a guy who never, ever got over being booed on draft day.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
And he's held a grudge ever since.
And maybe that worked on the football field, right? Maybe that translates.
But that's what it did, is that on the football field, it put a chip on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. And like you said, he was very much, on me for a long time in his career. And then the T.O. saga happened. And he wasn't about to take that on me. So he pointed the finger at T.O. T.O. was gone. And then all of a sudden, it became real easy for Five to start pointing the fingers at other guys, knowing that if he pointed the finger, they were next to go. And then what happened? He gets traded, then he retires, and he becomes a member of the media. And what does the national media love to do? They want to bury the Eagles.
They want to throw the trash on us.
And all he did was just start piling on. And then he came back here, and he had his number retired, and number 5 will always love you until tomorrow morning when I have to go back on the radio.
And rip you again.
Because you're a fraud.
No, he's a big-time fraud.
And just throwing this out there as well, the good people at Comcast Sportsnet Philly did a little comparison yesterday on stats through the first 17 games from Donovan McNabb and Carson Wentz. The only category where McNabb has a lead is rushing yards.
Yeah, I figured that one.
Yeah,
on the ground. I mean, he was so elusive, man.
Yeah,
He was so special.
But that's the thing, is
running the football.
His first 2 years, all he did was run for his life. So yeah, of course he's going to have the rushing yards.
What is that, Zeke? His tricky shit plays come at the wrong times of the game. Downs and yards to go. He cost at least 2 games last year with his crap calls when you didn't need trickery. You call a high percentage play, pick it up on first down, and continue to drive. Kill the clock when you have a lead instead of a punt ball back and hope that he can hold them. Not good. Can't win games that way. Well, you got a response for that. I mean, you got a response that he's now he's a trick player. He done a lot of trick plays. I mean, you got a response for that because, I do.
Well, here's what I want to know. Define trick play. To me, screen's not a trick play. It's part of the offense. He's not running flea flickers. He's not running reverses. He's not running halfback option passes. So what do you consider a trick play? You want to bash the play calling of a rookie head coach in his first year? Okay, fine. He's got plenty of time to improve. But I don't see him running trick plays. Andy, if anything, Andy used to run that bullshit. Andy used to run the flea flickers and the halfback option passes and the fake punts and all that crazy shit like that. Doug, you may not like the fact that Doug was calling screens on 3rd and 5 instead of throwing the ball downfield. You may not like that Doug went for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2 constantly. But let's call a spade a spade. Doug wasn't calling trick plays. You don't like his play selection? That's fine. But don't give me trick plays because you got to define what a trick play is.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had no issues with all the 4th downs and all that because I just thought that was setting the tone. Setting the tone year one. We're going to be aggressive and we're going to believe we can get these plays. And we can get that 1 yard or 2 yards or whatever it is.
I went over here. Do you think there will be a problem between Howie and Joe Douglas if Joe wants to be a GM and other teams have openings? Do you think he will go if we don't offer? Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely his right. I mean, if Douglas is in the front office here and he gets an opportunity to go elsewhere, there's actually a league rule in the NFL that the Eagles pretty much have to release him from his contract if another team wants to hire him and promote him.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
You can't go to another team and go laterally, but if another team wants to promote you, your current team pretty much has to let you out of your contract.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
listen, I think that's a situation where, Mr. One, Howie Roseman, goes back down to the little corner office. Yeah, all the way down the hall, Howie.
Could be.
A little pat on the back, a little pat on the ass. Go do finances. Rob Lutman, no more throws behind the line of scrimmage than Nelson until his hands are proven. Agreed? That's something for, let's say, Sproles.
All right, but did we hear Doug's explanation on that? Because Doug came right out and said, he goes, I don't want to point a finger, but that one's on Carson. He said, because every time we ran it during the week, it was at or in front of the line of scrimmage. The first time we ran it, Carson got it out of his hands way too soon, and it turned into a lateral.
Yeah, no, that was on Carson.
He
That throw was on Carson.
He said, if you notice, the second time we ran it, Carson actually waited for Aguilar to clear the defensive end, threw it. Aguilar made a great one-handed catch on it, and if he shakes the guy at the 3, he's in the end zone.
Yeah, and if he didn't have to make a one-handed catch, he's
still in the end zone.
He's easily scoring on that.
So let's not put everything on Doug. Our quarterback needs to take a little responsibility.
Of course,
here too.
but guess what? That love affair is hit.
Oh yeah,
To where he can't do nothing wrong. I mean, we're learning that right now. Clay Ferguson, McNabb is your high school girlfriend who took you places you've never been. Wentz is going to be the one to get you your ring. That's well said.
that's good stuff.
Donovan did take us places we've never been.
Yeah.
Was a high school girlfriend. You did new things with her. You actually went to a Super Bowl. Felt delicious, right? Maybe a little. Maybe your first time, right? A little tighter than usual.
Look,
okay?
I was lock,
It
stock,
is late night.
I was lock, stock, and barrel in Jacksonville, walking around all day Saturday with a goddamn Donovan McNabb jersey on. So people don't need to tell me about this. That was an expensive trip in jerseys, man.
Yeah, that is.
Three bills for a T.O. jersey, $3 for a McNabb jersey, and $3 for a Dawkins jersey.
Now you can rent them. There's a new site where you can rent jerseys.
Yeah,
See that?
I need to look into that.
Yeah, I reached out to him. I like it. Taylor, again.
I hope my mom's not listening to this, by the way.
No, I hope.
You spent $900 on jerseys.
I hope my wife's not listening. I was talking about high school girlfriends being a little tight. You know what I mean? Taking you places you've never been. You know what I mean? I hope nobody's listening to it. But it is late night. Taylor, I might get heat, but I blame Five still to this day for that drive in the Super Bowl where he took forever to drive down the field because he was throwing up. It's a Super Bowl. LOL. I mean, it's tough to perception. Perception's tough to break, man. If you didn't throw up, we're not having that conversation. That's what what sucks for Five is you did. You threw up on national TV, the biggest stage you're ever going to play in.
Agreed.
Tough to run from it.
Actually, what's really hilarious about that, though, and I this is like the quote-unquote little-known fact on this. So, Super Bowl's in Jacksonville when he throws up, and supposedly Andy's explanation is, I was actually slow getting the plays into Donovan because I wanted to make sure we were in the right play because you have to score once before you can score twice.
Of course.
Okay, fine. I get that. But here's a little-known fact that was either the next year or the year after. The Birds go on the road to Jacksonville in like early October. They're down, I think it was like 29-17 or something like that, late in the fourth quarter. Five is driving them down the field to try to get him back in the game, and he puked again. He puked again on the same field.
You can't, yeah, I remember that one. It's something about that Florida weather. He just couldn't play.
It was like the humidity or whatever. Yeah, it was just, and it was.
So I went to Arizona to drink his life away.
Yeah, and it was hilarious because that was back in the day when you would you'd turn off the sound on the TV and you'd listen to Merrill and Mike, and you got Merrill going, oh, and he's throwing up again. And to hear Merrill call that was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, that is great. Zeke saying Chip's boy from Oregon. Who's he talking about? Frank Vespi, Pederson's Eagles in terms of the poll question.
There we
Who
go.
do you got winning this Sunday? Andy's Chiefs, Pederson's Eagles. Still let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us.
There you go. Mr. Poogs, Torrey Smith blew that play by missing a block. I guess the wide receiver screen to Aguilar we were talking about.
Oh, Alshon and Torrey both had terrible blocks on that. On the screen that we're all talking about. They got blew up. Both of them got blown up.
It kind of makes you long for the days of Riley Cooper.
Yeah, well,
at least Riley Cooper could knock a guy on his ass.
He could block well.
Oh,
Macklin was another real good blocker,
Yeah.
too. Jeremy Macklin blocked real well downfield.
William Wood said, I lost all respect for McNabb. He just made Carson. He's just mad Carson will win a ring sometime.
Yeah.
McNabb never did. Coop, I'm not a big fan of the wide receiver screens, but the blocking on some screens was terrible. Agreed. Agreed.
It goes hand in hand, man. Like, if plays don't work, well, who's responsible for their assignments? It's not all on the coach. Listen, it's all about the talent you have around you, right? So you can put the best play call in the world in. If you don't have the guys to execute it, it's not going to work.
Right.
So it goes hand in hand. Yeah, can there still be bad play calls that just are set up to fail? Of course. Well, you gotta have. There's two sides to it.
Right, but let me ask a question to the people. Did you hate the wide receiver screen when Andy was calling it for McNabb to T.O.? Did you hate the wide receiver screen when Chip was calling it for Vic to Deshaun? No, and no. So why do you hate it now? Because it's Carson to Alshon or Torrey or Nelson? I mean, you can't hate a play just because of the personnel it's being called for.
Real quick question for you guys. You guys still running the West Coast offense, correct?
Correct.
That's part of the West Coast offense.
Absolutely.
So these people need to shut their mouths.
Thank you. Thank you.
Robbie.
Thank you. New versus old. Peep game. Eagles have the best defense in this division. I agree. I'm going to say they're better than the New York Giants right now.
I'll tell you what.
I'll go on a limb.
Their defense really impressed the hell out of me on Sunday.
Eagles?
Yeah, and I think it's only going to get better.
Hey, the front four we talked about. Got to go get it.
And I love the fact that they're now faced with losing Ronald Darby. And Doug says, you know what? I'm going to let Jim handle that. So they talk to, the media talks to Jim and says, how are you going to fix this? What are you going to do? And he goes, don't worry. I got a plan. So then they start going to all the defensive players going, well, what are you guys going to do this week without Ronald Darby? And every one of the defensive players goes, we got it. We got a plan. Nobody's saying shit
I love it.
about what they're going to do. To me, that means something big is going to happen. They're either going to come out in an entirely different front, they're going to blitz the shit out of Alex Smith, or they're going to throw some funky-ass exotic coverages out there that Andy hasn't even seen.
No, and I think that's what you got to do week to week. I mean, you got to switch it up. To win football games at this level, everybody has everything on tape. So week to week, you got to bring out some new wrinkles. You got to do some different things. Like you said, throw guys off balance a little bit.
Right.
Don't show the same sets you showed on tape, the week before. Mix some things up. Right? I know you're not a blitz guy.
Right.
Add a couple more blitzes to your play call this week. Different things like that.
And I want to throw something out here real quick because I mentioned Jim Schwartz. And this week, if we can put this to rest.
You want to do this now or after
I
the break?
I do want to do this now. So give me a minute here to formulate this because
Are we doing the Schwartz Doug conversation right now?
Kinda. But
Okay.
I want to toss something out to a certain member of our audience, if you don't mind.
You want to do it now or you want to save that?
Well, I'll let you make that call.
I think I know where you're going. Let's tease it.
All right.
Let's tease it. Say what you're going to say. Preview it.
So we're going to
preview it.
This in the business is what we call a tease. Okay. So what I want to do
Ladies
is
love it.
I want to put to rest the whole conversation about Jim Schwartz campaigning for Doug Pederson's job. Doug said that he is completely comfortable with Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz said, I've been a head coach in this league. I'm confident in what I do. I'm confident in my abilities. I want my defense to have swagger. And because I want my defense to have swagger, I need to have swagger. I don't think there's any power struggle going on in the Eagles coaching offices between Doug and Jim Schwartz. But a certain member of the media does, and we're going to address that on the other side.
We will address that on the other side, and we might give an offer for people to come sit down with us again. We might open our doors again to the crumb-ass media in this city, and that's what we're going to do on the other side.
Don't steal my thunder. Don't you steal my thunder.
That's what we're going to do on the other side. We're going to talk a little of this on the other side. We're also going to talk about Joe Embiid's contract situation. We're going to do a little quick NFL week in review, the most surprising game result from week one. What result was most predictable that you saw coming? And aside from Kareem Hunt, which individual performance stood out the most to you? All that on the other side, as well as our poll question. We still want the winner of Sunday's Eagles-Chiefs game. Peterson's Eagles, Big Reds Chiefs. Let us know when we get on back. Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
HDRadio.com. And this segment was brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Gibson Mayer LLC. Find him on the web, gibsonmayer.com. And listen, we got to give a shout out to the new soap standard. Soapstash LLC, the best bars in the world. Got to get them. Soapstash.com or right on the book, Soapstash LLC. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM and the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on a2dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2dradio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2dradio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on a2dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com. White Man Can't Dance, Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2DRadio.com, live in the BMW of Atlantic City Studios, BMW of Atlantic City, off exit 37 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of AtlanticCity.com. Back for the third year, the three-peat, our certified public accountant. Make them yours, Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Rob Povey on the ones and twos. A lot to discuss. We started with, listen, we went an hour straight. My Jarrell's on the book, on our Facebook Live. How long are you going to be on break for? Listen, we just talked for an hour, Daddy. Let's clear out a little bit, because I told him there's something big coming back on the other side. We want to be focused and ready to rock.
Wait, you got Jarrell on the book?
Yeah, I love. Is he on the tube too?
Because he's on the tube too.
Oh, I love him. He's a bouncer. I love him. Listen, he's one of the best guys for us in the business, man. He's always on our feeds, always on our live vids, always commenting, dude.
Oh yeah,
we love it. They help make the show. You guys help make the show. We're just guys. We're just fans.
Robbie,
we can spit it, but we're just fans.
Yeah, Robbie, I just pulled a Ted Cruz.
Yeah,
I'll let you do the homework on that one.
I'll look that up right now. But hey, just want to tell Jarrell, we gotta take care of the hands that take care of us. So. You know.
I
guess he heard. He goes,
I like your style, kid.
He goes, if I hear the soap stash one more time, I'm going to throw my iPad in the shower.
No, throw your soap stash in the shower.
Yeah, and then clean off your tablet with the soap stash. Clean her up a little bit. So we started off the show with a poll question, and it's an easy one. The winner of Sunday's Eagles-Chiefs game will be Pederson's Eagles, Big Red's Chiefs. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. HUD Radio is where you can find us.
Hit up our Twitter and vote now. Let's blow that Twitter thing up.
And then Doug Zeke goes, Olivia. But he was talking about a wide receiver. He's wondering what happened to Josh Puff Huff. Whatever happened to him.
I don't even know if he's in the league right now.
So, predictions. I'm taking Eagles. Who are you taking? And what is your score, again, for the people?
Going Kansas City 20-17.
KC
20. Pretty low scoring affair. And I think it's real tight.
Can you turn that other light off on the camera for me? It's freaking killing me.
I think it's real tight. Wow. Real tight into the fourth.
So 2017.
2017. Late field goal wins it.
KC.
Yeah.
All right. I told you I'm confident in this football game for whatever reason. It sucks I'm going to have to miss it because I'll be coaching this weekend. But I'll go back and watch it and do all that fun stuff.
Dissect it.
But I just had a good feeling because of that big win for Kansas City and the loss of Barry like we talked about earlier on in the show. And I think this is a game where now you can expose them in the secondary a little bit. 2/3 of the world's covered by a winner. The other third is Eric Barry. Marcus Peters is a really good corner in this league, a Pro Bowl corner. You know, he's going to outshine's up against this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to win. But all that being said, I think we win, and I'm going to go 24-17. So I'm in.
You're in the vicinity.
We're all both on the same.
Now, see, it's interesting because for me, I'm kind of at one extreme or the other. Because for me, if the Birds win, they outshot them. I mean, it's a shootout, and the Birds just got the last shot in. If the Birds win this game, it's like a 31-28 win.
Okay, so you think Casey's going to put up points?
I just think if it's a low-scoring affair in Kansas City, I think Kansas City pulls out a late one. But like we talked about earlier, if the Birds have a chance to win, it's going to have to be a little bit of an air show. And if it's a little bit of an air show, then who knows where that score goes.
And how about I give you the other side of it, though? How about I give you that, if you want to be a playoff defense and a Super Bowl-type defense, you better travel well. And that's facts. So I look at it like this. Like, yeah, it could easily be one side. It could be a shootout. I'm looking at I think this defense is going to show up on Sunday. And I think they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. I think it's going to translate over to the game, and I think they're going to give Alex Smith a run for his money. He put up a lot of numbers last week. Can I tell you something? Kareem put up a lot of numbers last week, right? We all know this. But you know one thing about the NFL that happens with statistics and all that good stuff? Ebb and flow of the season, right?
It all evens out.
It's going to even out. I don't think Alex Smith has a good week this week. I think he actually struggles this week a little bit. I think we're going to do some things. I'm excited about it.
I got a couple here that I promised I'd get to right after the break on the YouTube chat.
Yeah, and I'll get to you guys in a minute. I'll chime in on the book.
Turk Boys chimes in again. He goes, 3 things Wentz needs to fix. 1, stop staring down your wide receivers. 2, stop holding the ball too long. 3, get better at the deep throws, especially when Torrey's got the guys beat. Lastly, Eagles need to do some quick passing game like the Packers did against us. And that's actually a real good observation because Favre last year, or not Favre, what the hell am I thinking? Rodgers last year, he pretty much picked us apart with 7-8 yard slants.
Yeah, he did.
And as soon as the corners came up, he went over the top.
And I think that's something better about this defense now. They're going to be a little more physical at the corner spot. Now Patrick Robinson's tossed into that duty, but I don't love it as much as Darby, and we'll see how he fares. But that being said, I think they're better off at that spot this year than they were last.
Yeah. Alex Ocasio, and this is great. Work was asked, but I'm here now. So this is a man who made it a point after having a shitty day at work
to get here
to tune into us. Alex, you are the man, brother.
You are the man,
so
Alex.
Alex says,
What's up, brother?
Work was asked, but I'm here now. Have we talked yet about how goat-like Reese Hoskins is? No, but we will.
We will.
Blessings. If the Eagles win the Super Bowl, how would this city react? It would be off the hook.
Shit, man. She's going to get burned to the ground. Burn that motherfucker to the ground, Pookie.
And Alex chimes in and says,
know a movie? White Castle?
It'd be like that one scene from The Matrix when everyone was dancing in the cave. Good stuff, Alex. What do you got on the book?
On the book, we got some scores. Hold on, let me get that out of the way here. Jarrell Kelly, I told you there might be 100 pass plays this weekend. He wrote. Chris Kelly, Kansas City 27-20. Arrowhead is a tough place to go into and win, especially when Big Red has 3 extra days to prepare. I completely agree with everything you just said. I'm making the point that if this is the football team that I'm hoping it can be, if this is the division winner that I think they can be, right, this is a statement game. Week 1 was a little tune-up. Go handle business on a team that beat you 5 times in a row. Go handle that. Right? This week is, wow, this is a big boy in the AFC. It's a team that just took down the Super Bowl champs. Okay? This is a statement game to the rest of the NFL and to your division. We're coming for that ass. So me, looking at it that way, part of it's hope, but I believe that this defense is a ton better than last year. Better QB, tons of weapons. We're a problem. Go ahead.
Oh, did I look like I had
Yeah.
Because I
felt
do.
like you did.
A big reason why the Chiefs won and beat the Super Bowl champs was the rookie Kareem Hunt. I kind of see regression coming this week because that Patriots defense is not the same as last year. And Hightower got knocked out in that game, and he's questionable for this game, but that's a story for another day. In regards to this is a far better run defense than you saw last week. Rookie, second game in. You're going to see a little bit of aggression. If you're not getting that type of run game, I see a more balanced game. The 1 point he makes, Arrowhead, is a tough place to play. So it should be a great game.
Here's my question, though. If you're the Birds, do you feel like you're playing with house money on this one?
A little bit.
Because to me, you're not favored. Everyone thinks that the mentor is going to school the student. Arrowhead is the toughest place in the NFL to play, or one thereof. It's actually on record as being the loudest stadium in the NFL. I mean, you're kind of going in there with nothing to lose.
Nothing. If I'm talking
so
locker
let the
room
balls
talk,
hang out and go do your thing.
if I'm talking locker room talk, everything you just said, I'm using for motivation. Everything that you just said about tough place to play, right? Big boy AFC, all that talk. I'm using it as a young football team to go in and win a big one, and knowing that, hey, how much is going to mean to Doug? One, and I think they're going to play for their coach, win or lose. They're going to play hard for him. And it's going to be a close game. And 2, how much it means to him to beat Andy. I mean, that's huge for him to beat Andy. It's bigger than Andy beating Doug, right? Andy's already came in and beat us before, right? Then
he beat Chip.
No, he still beat the Eagles, though.
Right, but
so he got that off. I mean,
that's out of the way.
That's out of the way now, right? So that's completely out of the way.
You know what I should have done? I should have actually looked at the Eagles roster and figured out how many guys that are still here played here under Andy. I mean, it can't be more than a half dozen.
Brent and Kelsey and Peters. Brent, Kelsey, and Peters.
Fletcher,
yup. There's a couple other ones. But Andy Reid on the Eagles. You don't stay someplace for 14 years and not have a fondness. And that's Andy, because Andy's all freaking class.
So let me run some numbers here by our friends. So we already talked a little bit about the success that he has when he's got some time to prepare. So Andy Reid, Eagles 99 to 2012, regular season 130, 93-1, 10-9 in the playoffs and Super Bowl. Chiefs 13 to the present, 44-21, 1-2 in the playoffs. Overall, regular season 173, 114-1. It's a 602 winning percentage. Is it 10, Rob? Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Postseason, 11-12, 478. Overall, 184, 125-1, 595 winning percentage. So, I mean, the guy for his career is a 60% guy. And that's great. But again, like I look at the postseason, career, he's 11-12 in the postseason and 1-4 in NFC Championship games, 0-1 in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the inability to finish is no doubt a question mark.
There were some things that I loved about him, and there were some things that absolutely drove me nuts. I think Doug, already at this point in his career, is infinitely better at Andy in clock management. Time management, clock management, managing your timeouts. I also think he's a hell of a lot better than at challenges. And everybody's going to jump on me because Doug challenged a call last year that was questionable because if they win the challenge, it only means 3 yards. 3 yards is 3 yards. You're playing the Green Bay Packers. I don't have a problem with him doing that. But, yeah, I mean, I think Doug is better time management, timeout, or clock management, timeout management. He's better at challenges. He's been much more aggressive on 3rd and short, 4th and short. Now, Andy was the gambler in terms of, he'd start football games, start seasons with an onside kick. Mm-hmm. He'd start a half with an onside kick. He'd come out first play from scrimmage, throwing the ball 70 yards down the field. Andy was very much a player's coach. Everything was, I have to do a better job.
Of course.
And there were times when I have to do a better job got annoying as hell. But what did Andy never do? Never put it on his players.
Never did.
And now you see Doug doing the same thing. So if it was okay for Andy, why is it not okay for Doug?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what good coaches do.
I'll ask the same question.
Good coach is going to take it on the chin. You know what I mean? They're not going to, the bad ones are going to point fingers at everybody and anything else that they can find to point fingers at because they didn't do their job. You know what I mean? Or they're not confident in keeping their job. So they're looking the point. They're looking the point. But I don't know. Doug's a good football coach to me. So that's how I feel about that.
So, real quick, one of the things that I wanted to ask you specifically tonight was, do you feel like Jeff fired Andy too soon?
Too soon? I wouldn't say too soon. I think for Andy, it was the best thing that could happen to him. And I think that was a talk between Jeffrey and Andy, knowing that, hey, you know what, change of scenery would be good. Everything that happened with his family here.
Yeah, he needed a fresh start.
A fresh start. And even just going to another place is a breath of fresh air. And I think he needed that. And so I think it was a mutual thing that, hey, I think the time's up. Not that it's a fire. I know it was a fire, but I think it was a mutual.
Right. Well, and let's not forget that his last 3 seasons, he went from losing an NFC Championship game to 8-8 to 4-12. I mean, this is a team that was trending downward and trending downward at a pace that was making me as a fan and a season ticket holder real uncomfortable. So I didn't have a problem with it. Here's the thing, though. If they would have let Andy stick around for another year or two and Andy righted the ship, would I have been surprised? No, not at all. But was I in any way upset, disappointed, angry that they parted when they did? No, absolutely not.
No, I agree. I thought it ran its course.
Right.
I think it was time for both, a fresh face in here and Andy to go around to a new place where it's a fresh start for him and make it's best for both parties after all them years.
Right.
What else can you do? I mean, besides winning the whole goddamn thing,
right.
There's nothing left.
Joseph Giannetto, buy or sell. Philly stops Tyreek Hill's touchdown streak. I'm selling on that one. He gets in the end zone. Maybe twice.
He's so good. He's so elusive. He's special, man. I mean, Andy really found a gem in that one. So what did you want to ask me before we went to break?
So before we went to break, I know there's been a lot of conversation on the book, on Twitter, some videos. This whole discussion that has been going on over the past 7 days, call it, about the whole Doug Pederson and Jim Schwartz saga, okay? So we have a friend in the media, Mr. Tony Cotillo, who is a fellow Bucks County guy. He's a paisan. Tony and I have a real good professional relationship. We've talked about collaborating on a few things. I have opened the door for him to come in and sit in with us in the show. And now I believe I saw a few days ago you also invited Mr. Cotillo to come in and debate a certain topic with us. So what I wanted to do is kind of toss it out publicly. I understand that Tony works for a certain media entity across the bridge with the initials PI with an owner that we can't stand, but I'm not going to hold that against him. So what I want to do, Tony, is I want to toss out an invitation publicly right now for a debate between you and Mr. Arnone that I will gladly moderate right down the middle, fair and square, I'll ask the questions. You guys come up with the answers. And I want this to happen on Tom and Mike AM in the PM. There doesn't have to be a winner or a loser.
Well, that's that. We already know who that
just
is.
Just some good, intelligent, probably a little heated conversation. And I want this to happen. So I'm extending the invitation again. As a fellow Bucks County guy, I will pick you up on a Wednesday night. I will drive you to the studio. I will stop at Taco Bell and get you a box for the ride home. I'll feed you. I'm good like that. But I want this debate to happen, and I want it to happen on our show. So I'm inviting, with open arms, for you, Tony, to come in and speak mano a mano to this gentleman right here.
Listen, me and Tony, we have no issue.
No, he's a good guy.
This is agree disagree radio, okay? But I have an issue with the media in this city. I have a big time goddamn issue. This is what I said on Facebook the other day. To write that article when it came out is a flat out disgrace. It's a disservice. The list goes on. It's clickbait. The list goes on you coming up with that article that day, and not just him. I wasn't even talking about him and his article until I went and found it. I was talking about NJ.com shit, Philly.com shit, okay? Supposed big time Eagles reporters reporting bullshit. You can't come out. This is a couple things. You can't.
Don't waste all your ammo in case he says yes.
No, because there's plenty of ammo. The ammo will never go away because I got more. This is what you can't do. So in the report, it states that Jim Schwartz walks around the NovaCare complex and the locker room like he's a head coach. Okay? What the hell is he supposed to do? Guy's got bravado, type A personality. Guy's a bulldog, right? And he's a goddamn defensive coordinator. He should walk around like he's a big dog, a big cahoon.
Well,
Who else should he be?
And he was a head coach in the league.
Yeah,
so
he should. Jesus, that's bad. Okay? Then there was an issue in the cafeteria. Okay? And the issue in the cafeteria was from a player that these guys are supposed to wear long, no cutoffs. Guy was wearing a cutoff in the cafeteria. Jim, because that's what Doug wanted. Jim goes, hey, we got sleeves in here. All right, big dog, we're sleeving it up. Well, obviously that player didn't take kindly to it and use that to go tell certain writers in this city. But what I don't believe is if you're going to write that article the day of the fucking game, okay, you're going to put it out the day of week 1 of the season when everything should be a positive goddamn spin. You want to get negative a little later? We're all for it. I run GMs out of town all day. At least try to, okay? But you can't say anonymous sources. Because now I call bullshit on the whole thing. Because I want to know your sources. If it's week 1 of the NFL fucking season, I want to know every source you have. Everyone. Because what are you scared of? You're scared of the access. We ain't scared of access because I don't give a rat's ass if Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman or the marketing team, the social team, ever invite me in that locker room. Because I'm going to keep it real here for the people. Because this is why it's a worldwide leader, real goddamn fucking talk. And that shit is not right to the fans of this city. Because what does it do? Now it puts it in fans' heads. We're already negative to Doug. Oh, and we don't like Jim. I heard guys say, well, who's the next defensive coordinator? What? What do bad organizations do? They swap head coaches. So every guy who wrote that, if your source is real or not, it's a disservice. It's a disgrace. It's bad reporting that soon. This is what gives this city a bad rap. You shithole guys who write that, and I say with all due respect, give the rest of this, or the fan base and everybody else, you make look bad. And what do you do inside that locker room? Now that this is going on. Did you hear this? You guys aren't video game players. They read. Okay? So it's just, Mike, I'm so sorry. And listen, to all due respect to the guys who wrote it, I'm not saying you guys don't get a lot of things right. I'm not saying you guys don't have connections. I'm not going with any of that. I'm just saying for that specific article, if it's the greatest piece ever written or not, I call bullshit. And that will never change. Because he ain't taking his job. If Doug goes, Jim goes. If Doug goes, Jim goes. He ain't taking his job. So, Whatever. That's that, dude.
I couldn't agree with
come
you
in.
more, man. It's stirring up drama for the sake of stirring up drama at the wrong time. It's borderline clickbait, and it's irresponsible coming from such a major
There you go.
media source.
Tommy, can you check A2D Radio Twitter feed? I sent a tweet. It's a picture of a report. Want your opinion on it.
Who's that, Turk?
Turk. We'll
Yeah.
We'll definitely get to that.
So what has he got? He's got a tweet?
If you want to go to that real quick,
I'm all over it.
because I know we want to get to some NFL stuff, but we did have a request about some Reese Hoskins. And you know how I work. When it comes to baseball, asking you shall receive.
How did he send it to me? Turk, how did you send it to me?
It was
Right, direct message, maybe?
It was. I think he sent a tweet of a screenshot. So, Reese Hoskins, 2 home runs last night. 2 balls combined, traveled an estimated 850 feet.
Is your Twitter handle Nas? T Nas. Let us know. Let me know. If
right.
That's your Twitter handle.
So, 2 balls last night, traveled an estimated 850 feet. 16 home runs in 32 games. Tonight was 17 in 33. Wasn't brought up until August 10th. He now has 35 RBIs. It's not a misprint. August 10th to September 13th, 35 RBIs. And he started his career 0 for 10. Okay? He's the fastest player to hit 17 home runs in Major League history. 33 games. He's also got the Major League record for the most home runs after making a debut August 1st or later. Previous mark held by Ted Williams in 1953. In terms of reaching 16 home runs, so this is from last night. Hank Aaron, 137 games. Mike Schmidt, 115 games. Barry Bonds, 103 games. Willie Mays, 55 games. Reese Hoskins, 16 in 32. Third fastest player in history to get 34 RBIs. 32 games. Ted Williams did it in 36. Albert Pujols had 35. Since the 0 for 10 start, 327 batting average, 17 homers, 36 RBIs, 474 on base percentage, 857 slugging percentage. Tied for third on the Phillies in home runs. Tommy Joseph has 21, Maikel Franco has 20, Aaron Altair has 16.
That's a problem.
So now with number 17, he's now moved into sole possession of third place. Number of at-bats. Joseph, 470. Franco, 525. Altair, 312. Hoskins, 118.
Close to that Rookie of the Year mark, too.
Well, he hits 100 and he gets 130 at-bats. He loses rookie status.
Yep. But he can win Rookie of the Year.
So what were you saying in terms? He can. So what were you saying? You think there is a number that he could reach that could actually put him in the Rookie of the Year conversation?
I think if he gets to, if he hits 25, 26, he's got to be in that conversation. It has to be. And anything over that's just you put it, write it in, write your vote in.
Just like Gary Sanchez last year. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Opposite league, different team, but this kind of conversation was going on then too. And it's distinctly possible.
So
you had 25 after what you said, August.
He came up August 10th.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. I mean, Bellinger will have something to say about
Yeah,
that,
of
but
course.
you know, it's a good debate.
Yeah, Bellinger definitely will. But it's just like if you do so many historic things in a small sample size, and you're in the list of the names that Mike read off there with some of the greats of all time, it's hard if you keep up that pace to the end of the year and not be in that conversation, or worst case, come in second. Worst case.
Robbie, can you find out real quick how many Bellinger has right now?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was.
Because I'm curious about that, because if, let's say Bellinger has 33 or 34 right now, maybe Bellinger finishes with 40 having come up at the end of April, and Hoskins finishes with 25 having just come up on April or August 10th.
He has 36 homers, 83 RBIs.
Thank you,
36.
sir.
945 OPS.
It's
Jarrell
what was
said
it?
it's
Hold on,
sound.
what was it? 945?
What's his?
If I'm doing the math correctly, it's like 1286.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like, it's ridiculous.
It has to
Absurd.
be based on those other numbers.
But here's the last thing I want to leave you with on Reese Hoskins. I know we got to get to some NFL talk. Counting his AAA stats with Lehigh Valley, he's got 45 home runs this year. The only person at any level of professional baseball, from the major leagues all the way down to rookie ball, that's got more homers than him is Giancarlo Stanton with 54.
That's company. That's company.
So, yeah, I mean, this kid's a real deal.
Oh, no question. Every swing's the same. It's smooth, compact, head's in a good spot, man. It's a special swing. It really is, and it's not a Don Brown swing. It's not long. Everything's the same. He never changes anything, and that's what makes him a really good hitter. Is he going to go through slumps? Of course. But I think he's the kind of guy who's going to bounce out of him real quick. I think he's a pure hitter. Jarrell said it sounds like my stats in high school, and he says I also don't get these stats anywhere else, and it was about 7 exclamation marks. And Brian Powers, just jumping on, but to answer the question, my heart wants to say Dougie P and the Eagles, but my brain tells me Andy and KC. This is going to come down to coaching, and I think Andy and Doug know each other's game. Andy will look to take control of the clock with the run game, and Kareem Hunt is looking to be a monster. The Eagles will need to commit to the run, and I'd like to see Corey Clement get a play or two. The Eagles say they haven't committed to a running back, but they need to commit to the run. Guaranteed Andy runs the ball all day for clock control, and the team with the control of the clock and coaching will win this. So
Right. Did you
no longer, but
did you get the screenshot off of Twitter from T-Naz?
yes.
Okay.
And I believe it was about Bill Polian.
A report screenshot. Go ahead.
Yep. Bill Polian weighed in on Doug Pederson, Schwartz. Okay. Polian reported that according to people in the business, Doug may be on thin ice. Polian says he first learned of these rumors earlier in the offseason. Polian went on to say that Schwartz rumor was likely started by an agent. What it tells me is there's likely an agent who represented a Philadelphia defensive player who didn't get paid or was cut or was traded or whatever. And the agent is doing whatever he can to try to create a problem for the Eagles in a market where you don't have to do much to create problems. While the speculation on Schwartz report isn't all groundbreaking, his reporting on Doug Pederson's job security is one of the first concrete reports we've gotten that suggests Doug's seat is somewhat hot. It's painfully obvious that the front office isn't completely sold on Pederson, and reports like these just fuel the fire. I agree with the first part of it. I do not agree with Bill Polian talking about thin ice. If one report is false, that makes both false. Okay?
Let's see how let's see how thin the ice is if he finishes 11-5 or 10-6.
Yeah, come on. It's not the time to talk about this. I'm not even willing to talk about it after this season. It's got to be 3. I cannot become the Cleveland Browns, New York Jets of the world, Buffalo Bills of the world, Rams, Niners. I can't in and out.
Let me
It's
tell
not a
you
revolving
something.
door.
Let me tell you something.
He got the lean on too.
Some people,
Rob Povey on the ones and twos.
Some people
On
are
the lean.
never happy unless they're fucking complaining about something. I speak from personal experience.
I'm right with you.
But you're right. Robbie, you are 100% spot on correct.
And I know people think
Some people just need to stir the shit all the time.
I just, some people might think I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and some people might take that rant personal, and it's not meant to be personal. It's passion. It's fire. It's not the time for it. I'm all willing to run guys out of town. People know this.
Right,
all
but-
right?
but
when
here-
the time I feel like it's right, I'll be the first to say it.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, it's pretty obvious between the two of us who the more level-headed one of the two of us is. But if I'm right there with you in that thought process, you can't say that you're wrong.
But I'm not. But we mean level. I'm not level-headed because I'll get
No, you
jazzed.
just get fired up.
Yeah,
I'm saying
you're the calmer.
I'm the more calm. I'm the calmer. More level of the two most of the time.
But I
Good cop,
pick and
bad cop.
choose that. I pick and choose that kind of
passion.
passion.
And it is passion.
Yeah, and guess what? So, and you do it times too. Even though you're more level than me, you do it times two.
Oh, I know.
Because you'll know. Okay, that's up Mike's crawl. Mike's dropping the effort, right? You know he's fired up. So you're right though. But you are the more level-headed. That's correct. I wanted to get where we were going.
And that's
all.
fine. Yeah, but here's the thing: is it for
Thought I meant I was stupid. Like I'm
No,
Doug.
no,
I'm
no,
Doug.
not at all.
I'm Doug to the fans.
dude? You're the big pundit.
Yeah.
The big pundit. You
And a
can't be
definition
stupid.
too. And I got a pundit definition, which was amazing.
But no, what I'm saying is that if you go on a rant like that, And I am 100% on board with every single piece, every breath of the rant. You ain't wrong.
You know what? You saying that, because I like sometimes will feel guilty for attacking at times. Like, maybe I shouldn't have been so aggressive. But to hear him say that, all that guilt's away, Daddy. Put it back in. Put it back in. Blessing. The freaking blessing late night.
That's how we do.
Oh, it's pretty. But no, all jokes aside, though, that confirms like that passion and that rant that I'm not just like I'm not a Kool-Aid freaking drinker. I'm trying to be right about how you go about handling your football teams, basketball teams, or and vice versa. I was the same guy when my friends wanted to run Brett Brown out of town because they said his play called out timeouts was horrendous. I said, who's he has the play? Who's he running plays for? I mean, stop it. Give the guy his time, right? Because if you trust the process, it's all going to come together. Speaking of the process, and then we'll go.
You want to double back to NFL?
Yeah, because this is quick. And, do you think Embiid's contract, do you think that it's worth even talking about right now?
If I'm the Sixers, I say, you know what? If you want to hold out, go ahead and hold out. I understand that he's a dominant player. I understand the box office attraction. You still played 31 games. And there's two examples that you can cite, Sam Bowie and Greg Oden. You need to prove that you're not the next Sam Bowie and not the next Greg Oden.
True.
You come in this year and you get through 50 games and you're completely healthy, and the only games that you're missing are the games that we schedule you to sit, you'll have an extension before the end of the year. That's not even a question. But for you to come out and say that you're not coming to training camp or you're not going to participate in any 5-on-5 after you've been medically cleared because you don't have a contract extension, that's not working for me.
It's not working for me either, Mike. And I love the guy, and every word you said spot on. I mean, I really do. He's special. He's dominant. He's a game changer. Sit out then.
And he's the best social media follower in Philly right now.
I love the process. I love everything about him. But you're not gonna hold me over the coals. I'm not walking over them hot coals. Nope.
Not at this point.
You play full season, I'll max you the hell out. I mean, what else do you want? You give me 75 plus. You get paid, Daddy.
I don't even want that. Give me 50. You give me 50, I'll max you.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
More than 31. And listen,
but
when he's on the Cordy special.
You don't pull that shit after 31 games.
No, and I get it when he's on the Cordy special, but no. This isn't the time to talk about it. We talk about it. That can be handled after this season.
Yeah.
And I'm right there. So that we can review. Most surprising game result of week one. Was it Kansas City?
No, actually.
Wasn't to me.
No, for me it was the Rams. For them, I understand the culture of bad football team.
Yeah, real bad.
But for Jared Goff and that Rams offense to drop that many points on the Colts, I mean, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you small hands is the real deal. But, I mean, the Rams came out and they put their shit down.
Well, listen, they put weapons around the kid. They made year two easier. I think they did a lot what the Eagles did. They went and put pieces around their franchise.
I think Cooper Kupp is the real deal.
Yeah, you put guys around. You put teams. You put good players around
good
him,
pieces, right?
And it's going to make his job easier, regardless if he has the hands of a bobblehead. So that was a good effort. Even though I even think the Colts are bad with luck, but still to see the progression from him, he looked a ton better.
And the Rams just lit them up. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, they did light them up. The Rams did. Surprise. It was a tough week one. I'm not surprised that Seattle lost to Green Bay. Because they haven't won there in a while. So I'm not surprised on that one. Falcons-Bears, close game. Okay.
That was a little surprising.
You see a little hangover, maybe, but Atlanta on the road still took care of business, still walked away with a W. So nothing there. I am surprised at the Cincinnati freaking Bengals.
Yes.
To come out against a divisional team, the Baltimore Ravens, and to lay a goddamn goose egg, and for Andy Dalton to continue to go this way. And now what is your excuse? You got A.J. Green back. You should have zero excuse. And that Baltimore defense ain't the greatest defense of all time right now. So let's slow it down. And for you to put up goose eggs and your whole team to play like shit, that's ridiculous.
Now, see,
that's ridiculous. That's a hot seat right there.
And it's interesting because I'm going to stay within your guideline there because I'm looking at a very similar situation. I'm looking at a divisional game with a team in the Houston Texans that outright shit the bed. I mean, you are supposed to be a dominant defense. You're playing at home. You're playing your first game at home after a borderline natural disaster. You send your defensive leader out with the American flag to plant that thing on the field before the game starts, and J.J. Watt running out of the tunnel is your only goddamn highlight? I mean, and I get it. Deshaun Watson played, and he looked okay, and that's fine. But, and I actually got a comment here on the YouTube chat, Jags were dominant.
Well, their defense is dominant.
But the Jags lost Allen Robinson for the season in that game, and they still put up 29 points.
Yeah.
On a defense that's supposed to be a top 3 in this league.
And Brian Cushing now out 10, which, suspended for PED.
I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah,
And the Houston Texans, to me, is the most disappointing performance of the week.
I can go there. The only thing I say about Jacksonville is you expected that out of the defense. I mean, they are fully locked and loaded. And it starts, to me, in the secondary with Jalen Ramsey, who was a can't-miss guy, and another one of them, Woodard covers 2/3. Jalen Ramsey's going to cover the other third. I mean, that's who he's going to be, regardless of,
Right.
He's a bulldog on the field. I don't know about off. He might be the girl off, but it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. But to your point, that defense, that's a bad effort. A bad effort against Blake Bortles, who, almost wasn't starting. It's coming down to like, does he even start in this football game? They come out and put a 29 spot up on you. But guess what? Leonard Fournette came to play.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really going to help Blake Bortles, who never had a running game there in Jacksonville. So that's going to open things up a little bit. So I'll agree with that. That's another surprise-ish game. I think both of them are have a little surprise to them. And I think you could it's just Cincinnati in a divisional game. That's downright awful. And Texans in an emotional game for the fan base didn't help the fan base out at all. And Bill O'Brien's to blame for this one because Tom Savage should never been your starting quarterback.
Agreed.
So,
absolutely agree.
Aside from obvious Kareem Hunt, individual performance of the week.
I love what Dalvin Cook did up in Minnesota on Monday night.
Yeah, brother.
I mean, I loved what Carson Wentz did on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a lot of really good individual performances. We had somebody chime in earlier, Kenny Golladay.
Really good one.
Love that one. Cooper Kupp, love that one. I mean, and then totally blanking on the guy's name. There was a defensive guy who had 3 sacks this week. I mean, and it's a guy like I'd never heard of before, and I tried to make a mental note of his name, and it just completely escaped me. I mean,
I think you got to look right at Kansas City and go away from Kareem Hunt and go to Alex Smith, who flat out torched the New England Patriots and looked like, what you thought Alex Smith would be when he was the number 1 pick of the draft. I mean, that's how good he looked on Thursday night. So that's another guy you can throw into the mix of these guys who had real good Week 1 performances on a.
You talking about Anthony Ciccolillo?
Yes.
On the Pittsburgh. And also T.J. Watt, J.J.'s brother, with 2 sacks, 4 sacks.
There you go.
Coming out of that Steelers
Thank
game.
you, Robbie. I appreciate that one.
I got that from an article I saw on a2dradio.com.
Bang.
Boom.
Anyway, real quick, one I want to throw in there, Austin Hooper. He had a lot of weight on his shoulders to come up and step up and be the number 1 tight end there for Matty Ice, the Atlanta Falcons, and he did not disappoint. I mean, I know they didn't win that game going away, but Austin Hooper had a 80-something yard touchdown and another catch for 40 yards.
Okay.
So had 2 40-plus yard receptions in that game.
Out of the tight end position. Yeah. Interesting. Clay Ferguson, Jags were dominant. Turk Boy, Sean McVay looked real good for the Rams. Agree with that. I think they have a real good coach. Alex Ocasio, I think Corey Davis will win Rookie of the Year. Really wish he was an Eagle. Turk, is good catching up, y'all. Got to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to go to work. Turk, good night. Clay Ferguson, again, since 2011, Jags have had the worst rushing attack in the league. Fournette has changed everything.
Yep.
Eric R., your boy Sam Bradford. And Monday night, my social media post, Sammy Sleeves is slinging it. And it made you sick to your stomach.
It does, because when he does have time, he can put it wherever he wants. I mean, that's no question. Jim Singleton on the book. Why would Doug be on thin ice? These people have to leave him alone. Called a good game against division rival on the road Week 1. Right on, Jim.
Absolutely.
Right on. Vinny Sacamano. Eagles are going to pressure Alex Smith so bad we're going to beat them on his turnovers. I really like that assessment. I was saying that earlier on.
Calais Campbell had 4 sacks this week.
Ooh.
Is that accurate? Okay. So another big performance.
Another big performance. Listen, there's a lot of good performances week one. Listen, Nelson Aguilar. You
Yeah.
want to stay at home. Just because of everything going into that football game about finishing. And he did. And credit to him, man. Credit to him in the offseason, putting in the work in, focusing, blocking out the so-called haters, and just worrying about your craft. And for week one, looking like the guy we drafted. So.
Yeah, and I'm not going to take a shot here, but I'm just going to say I wasn't really especially impressed with any of the other three teams in the NFC East.
No, and I'll go a step further. Dak Prescott is not – I'm telling you, the footwork is an issue, and I'm going to continue to say it. I think his base is too small. I really do. I think there's no base in his throw.
Mechanical thing, yeah.
I think there's no base in his throw. I think – listen, he's throwing 5-yard slants over guys' heads. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. I mean,
well, and here's the thing. I mean, for me, the Giants without Odell are painful to watch.
No question.
Dallas, Dak's got work to do. I mean, he's a second-year quarterback, same as Carson. He's got some work to do. The Redskins, not only did they look like they took a step back, they look like they took 2 steps back. I mean, because the Eagles, granted, they got a little help from the officials, I believe, on that strip, sack, fumble return. I do believe that was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was.
But bottom line is the Birds won the game. And I understand it's 1 week, but, right now, who's the team to beat in the NFC East?
It's the Eagles.
I think so.
Who's the best quarterback in the NFC East? Carson Wentz. And again, it's not close. And I know people don't disagree with it, and that's fine. But what I've seen out of Dak Prescott is the inability to make the easy throws. I'm not saying the guy's not good on the run. I'm not saying the guy can't throw the deep ball well. I'm not saying he can't move around in the pocket and do things. Nobody's questioning any of that. I'm just talking strictly of a footwork standpoint, which I think is so important at the quarterback position. I think he lacks some things there. And, yeah, he's a second-year quarterback, but right this second, that's what I see. So that's my assessment of him. What I see out of Eli Manning is digression, a guy who looks old. And with no Odell, it hurts him. Now I think he'll put up numbers when Beckham's back. I don't think there's any denying that. And I think Kirk Cousins is just spotty.
Hey,
he's hot or cold, hot or cold, hot or cold.
Go back to the Giants for a second,
Yeah.
though. And if Sean Spellman is still listening, is what I want to know is you take Odell out of that lineup, and okay, fine. You need to then figure something else out. How do you only have 2 targets to Brandon Marshall in the first 3 quarters of that game?
Yeah.
You signed Brandon Marshall to be your 1A, and he gets 2 targets in the first 3 quarters.
You know why, too?
He was in danger of going without a catch for the first time since his rookie year until the 2-minute warning of that game.
That's crazy.
And that's crazy.
But you know why else he only got 2 targets? Because
Eli sucks.
Well, listen, pressure, man. I mean, they can't block me or you. I mean, that offensive line is atrocious. They did nothing to upgrade in the offseason. They did nothing because they had no money spent. They did nothing to upgrade their offensive line. That offensive line is bad, real bad, and you knew it coming in this year. They have no run game. So now it's like if you can't sling it around the yard, if you're the New York Giants, you're going to lose a lot of football games. And everybody can crown the defense all they want. But I thought that defense, I don't think they played that well.
I love some of these
Sunday
comments
night.
coming in. Giants are a shell of themselves. Go Eagles. Giants team is a dumpster fire. Skins front office is a porta-john fire. Eagles win the division with a 2-game lead.
Very well, it could be true. But, I will say a couple things that I know people won't like. Byron Jones can flat out play for the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a given.
That defense is better. But, listen, it's all going to rely on the quarterback and if Zeke even gets suspended. But I just think we are a better overall football team than them. I still think they have more holes than us. I just do. And it's strictly Dak, man. I don't like Zeke's a monster. We know that. And I know, the quarterback to me just isn't good enough. I think he has a big sophomore slump regardless of the freaking game he had because what a lot of these guys come at me with is statistics. Did you watch them? Because numbers can be deceiving at times.
Actually, a real good point here. Remember what we said last year, first-round quarterback versus fourth-round quarterback. Obviously, Dak needs more polishing than Wentz. Feel the athleticism are equal. Dak takes better care of the ball. Okay.
But I also think that they're more conservative in terms of their how much they run the football, too. They run the football more than the Eagles do because of Zeke.
And they also don't ask Dak to make the kind of throws the Birds ask Wentz to
Yeah,
take.
because everything last year was intermediate to Beasley or taking shots, or something over the middle of the way. I mean, it just wasn't like, listen, it wasn't let's say, a 15.
You're not running 15-yard outs to the wide side of the field.
Yeah, to the wide side from the other hash and throwing it on a dime like Wentz can do. There's just certain things. And, yeah, the difference, I think Wentz came in more polished as a quarterback too. So I think that affects it. But guess what? Year 2, your footwork should be better. I've seen nothing from the footwork side of it that made me say, well, you put a lot of time into your footwork. That would be my concern if I was a Cowboys fan. Like, oh, wow, if we do lose Zeke, we're in a lot of freaking trouble.
Well, and
he's not a carrier.
Yeah.
I think that's the best word for it. He's just not going to be a carrier to me. He's going to need them other pieces to be really good. He's going to need that offensive line to stay healthy for him to be really good. That's more of my assessment.
Well,
on
and you're not sitting here saying that he's a bad quarterback.
No.
You're just making a comparison to a first round versus a fourth round quarterback.
I'm just saying Wentz right this second from what I saw, and that's why the video came out, is the best quarterback in this division, and it's not close. After week 1, it's not even close. If you watch a kid play for 5 minutes, you say some of the throws he makes on the run are so Rodgers-ish, it's ridiculous. Just the way it comes out, the sling, on a rope, and his ability in the pocket to break tackles is Benish. And you put them combos together, and the way he commands, his leadership, just his demeanor, everything about him. And Vinny Massey was saying this the other night, a bunch of stuff about him. I'm like, dude, it's so spot on. Just the little things you see about him when you watch him. Yeah, special.
It's actually some more comments here. Honestly, it's getting rid of Tom Coughlin doomed the Giants.
Yeah, Ben McAdoo's a moron.
Another comment from Coop. Still don't get why the Giants drafted a tight end in the first round.
Yeah, he was.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he showed up. How about an offensive lineman?
Clay Ferguson, Dak is a game manager. Wentz is a game changer.
That's another great one.
That's
another
a good
great one. I'm looking for ways to say it.
And Eric R. kind of tagged. He kind of followed that with Cowboys have an elite O-line and established players.
Yep.
Bryant and Beasley take care of Dak. Elliott's a freak.
Oh, no question.
Yeah, no question.
And Rob's a Cowboys fan, and I think through our conversations, he admits. I think he's.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is that like the comment said, first round versus fourth round.
Right.
You can't compare them. It's not even a fair comparison, right? And I like that there's a franchise quarterback that he can make a lot of guys around him look better. Dak needs to be a part of a team, but I think he can get there because of the athleticism. He's got to work on the footwork a little bit. He's got to work on his accuracy, especially in the end zone. There's a lot of things to work on there. There's going to be some exposition, but to say that he's a game manager, that's where I disagree. That's where I fall off the argument. I think he's more than just a game manager.
Well, the question comes without the talent, can he carry? Because if he can't carry, he's a game manager. You look at Alex Smith, and, he's the prototypical game manager, like people like to say. And it's not always a shot. You can win with game managers. So it doesn't mean he can't win a Super Bowl ever. Not that I want to say it. It doesn't mean he can't. It just means that there's different types of quarterbacks. There's a game-changing franchise-type guy, and then there's that other tier. And moving forward, I feel like he's always going to be on that other tier. He's never going to be the guy unless
never say never.
To me. I feel confident enough to say he's never going to be the carrier. I feel goddamn. I'll go to my grave with it. I'll go to my grave if I die before him. But that's how I feel about the guy. That's my assessment. Guys can have bold assessments. That's a bold freaking assessment for the Eagles fans because they'll love it. And they'll eat it up right now, and it's late.
Well, on that note.
That's why I'm feeding the people it's what they want to hear, and it's real talk, too.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Okay. I'm going to say never again.
Never.
Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
HDRadio.com. We love you all. You all make the show the best. Thanks for listening. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank Gibson Mayer.
Yes, sir. Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web. GibsonMayer.com. Sports Outlet Inc. Soap Stash LLC. Scanzano Sports. Stream Smart Vinny.
Rob Povey on the ones and twos.
Tom. Mike. Rob Povey on the ones and twos.
AM.
PM. HUDRadio.com. Thank y'all. We love you. Go Birds. We out.